Hello again, everybody. Sacha is here with my WWE NXT Takeover Spec Review for this Wednesday night, October the 7th, 2015. This was probably one of the most anticipated takeovers in recent history since the Brooklyn Takeover was such an epic event. Now we're back at Full Sail University, and tonight's card was a very fun card. I mean, some good matches. Of course, you had the Dusty Rhodes Classic, the semifinals and the finals, which were pretty exciting. A debut of a new NXT diva. But it was two of the NXT's 4 horsewomen that took the spotlight tonight in our epic main event tonight, as you see by my subtitle. That Iron Woman match, Iron Woman match, not Iron Man match, was the match of the night. For damn sure. Probably one of the best women's matches of the year. It just won the gamut of emotions. And it was very exciting. And I'll get full depth into it when I talk about that match. 7.5 out of 10 for the overall pay-per-view rating. And I'm going to do something I've never done. Give a big rating for that match. You'll find that out in a second. Or you may have already seen it in the description. Let's get started with the semifinal matches back-to-back of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. I didn't think they were going to do both matches back-to-back. I thought they were going to have like one semifinal match and then have a match bookended between the second and the first. But both semifinal matches started off the night of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. New set, by the way. I like the new set of the NXT stage. It was cool. Cool setup there. So, semifinal match number 1. The NXT champion, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe, took on Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson. For an opening matchup, this was a pretty good one. Decent opener. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, they're a very young team, the up-and-coming team. They had nothing going for them until they defeated Enzo and Cass from out of nowhere and became a big underdog in this tournament. And they looked good in this matchup. They great double team moves on Joe in the corner. They really isolated Joe in the corner before, of course, after Joe got the big moves to get himself the opportunity, the interviews and all that. Big splashes to get the tag into Finn Balor. He was on a roll. Coming with some big splash moves in the corner, setting up at one point for the coup de grace. The momentum shifted as Finn Balor was going for a move off the ropes. He got clipped by the knee on to from Dash Wilder. As Dawson distracted Balor long enough for the clip to the knee from Balor after that momentum shift for him. And I guess the momentum shifted very quickly as Dash and Wilder really double-teamed Balor in the corner, taking the knee out big time. And they were good in this position. They showed some great teamwork here. And no matter what, they have a lot of eyes on them. You know, because this is like one of the biggest matches of their career against two very accomplished guys. So they looked good in this match, especially when you're isolating Balor in the corner. But despite the damage done to his knee that was done by Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, Balor had enough strength to get the hot tag into Samoa Joe. Coming in and boom. He did the timing drop, the big boot, and the senton. And then Wilder got pushed out into the ring turnbuckle. And Joe nailed the muscle buster, but right before he nailed it, Balor, who was still weak from the attack on the knee, he tagged himself in. And it did a double team. The muscle buster, cue up to the coup de grace. Despite Balor adding more damage to his knee, he knew that he was going to damage his knee even more by adding more pressure to it when he did that coup de grace. Damaged knee or not, 1-2-3 victory for Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, being the first team to advance into the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. 3.2 for this match. It was a very exciting opener. And even in the losing effort, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson looked pretty good in this matchup. And they were a nothing team. You know, they were just a jobber team. And now they're trying to break out. Kind of like what happened with Blake and Murphy. You know, they were kind of a squash team. And all of a sudden they broke out. Even though some people may hate them because of their unoriginality and stuff. But they're kind of kooky. And they got Alexa Bliss on their side. I think Dash Wilder could be that. team that could break out, like the next team in our next matchup. And also, it was interesting with Finn Balor coming out. No face paint. This is the first takeover. We didn't see Finn Balor in his face paint. We saw him with the jacket. He was wearing his jacket lately, the motorcycle jacket. And a lot of people were suspecting there might be a heel turn in here from either Joe or Finn tonight. We didn't see that. We didn't see a heel turn tonight, but it could happen eventually, especially with Finn Balor changing his outfit. So then we're on to our second semifinal matchup. Jason Jordan, GABLE against Baron Corbin and Rhyno. Now, in my mind, Jason Jordan and GABLE, I think they were heels coming into this match. I think after this match, I think they officially may have become babyfaces. They were so over, especially since the fans, which were back at Full Sail, good crowd again tonight. Come on, NXT crowd. In their home base, Full Sail. Epic as always. They were so into GABLE and Jason Jordan. More specifically, GABLE. Like they're like some sort of GABLE chant. GABLE, GABLE. Like some sort of GABLE song. That could be the new Olay for Sami Zayn. I think they like Jason Jordan and GABLE more, or it's because they hate Corbin more. That's why they cheer them on more. And this match was pretty good. It's probably one of my favorite semifinal matches, because Jason Jordan and GABLE looked awesome in this match, and they almost pulled out the upset. They looked pretty good in this matchup, and this is why I think, like I said, that they're going to turn babyface after this, because the fans were so into them. And I'll give Corbin credit. It was in another long match. And for being a guy whose biggest thing, Balor, one of Baron Corbin's biggest weaknesses that got the fans onto him was the fact when he was in longer matches, you saw his weaknesses. But tonight, he looked awesome in this match. His match against Joe at NXT Takeover Brooklyn. It was a sloppy, it was a dirty match. It was a rough match. It was a physical match, but Baron looked good in it, and he held his own tonight against Jason Jordan and GABLE, who I think carried the matchup because they're the more athletic of the two guys. They're both collegiate guys, and they had some great double team work. Both teams had some great double team work. There were so many near finishes with GABLE, and for these two guys to stand up to these two beasts, that had some balls, man. They were like the monsters, Corbin and Rhyno. But despite the double team work of Jason Jordan and GABLE, it was a double team work of Rhyno and Corbin that got him the victory with the spear on the GABLE, setting him up for the end of days from Corbin in the 1-2-3 victory for Corbin and Rhyno. 3.4. This is, like I said, my favorite semi-final match of the night, because Jason Jordan and GABLE looked really good. Once again, like Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, even in a losing effort, Jason Jordan and GABLE looked awesome tonight, and they are over with the fans. And Baron looked great, and so did Rhyno as usual. So there you go. Great semifinal matchup. That's what's so cool about these matches tonight at the Dusty Rhodes Tournament. Yet, both teams in both matches, they all had their moments. Dash and Wilder had their moments, so did Balor and Joe. In the semifinals, Jordan and GABLE had their moments, and so did Rhyno and Corbin. So everyone had a chance to shine in both semifinal matches. Finals, same thing. Because I knew in my whole life it was going to be Joe and Balor against Corbin and Rhyno in the finals. Because they're like the nasty heels against the top faces of NXT right now. Since the day when Sami was out. By the way, we did not see Sami Zayn tonight wrestle. A few months ago, there was reports that this takeover was planned around him returning. We didn't see him tonight, backstage or in the crowd. Because I felt nothing about him. I felt nothing about his status. Maybe the Savior's return for London. Same with Hideo, who was in the crowd tonight with Funaki. So there you go. Maybe they're saving up Sami's return for December. So we'll see what happens with that. Now on to our next scenario, next matchup. Divas match. Debut for Asuka. She took on Dana Brooke. Now Dana Brooke, like Corbin, is pretty green. The fans were on her as usual. Like, everybody hates Dana Brooke. She's like no matter where she is, whether it's in Orlando or even in her home state of Ohio, because I was in Ohio for the NXT house show in May, June actually. You know, she's trying to learn, and in my mind, Asuka carried the match. But Dana Brooke looked pretty good with her aggressive moves, cockiness, especially slapping Asuka. Bad move, Dana, bad move. Even with Emma getting involved, Emma got slapped. Some decent wrestling, even though we probably knew it was going to be a squasher. Asuka in her debut, she's got potential. She's got the gimmick going. It was a fun match for what it was. But Asuka got the best spots were like the submission attempts. Like she was in a submission, and Dana Brooke trying to get out of it, but every time Dana got out of it, Asuka found a new way to keep Dana Brooke in that submission. Every time Dana tried to block out of it. She's like so many things, a knee ball into an ankle lock, into a German suplex, all that's like great moves. And she's got potential. Great kicks, great offense from Asuka, and then of course going to the Asuka lock and the submission victory for Asuka in her NXT in-ring debut. If Asuka keeps this up, we could see Asuka against Bayley one day, or whoever is Divas champion, Bayley or Sacha, by the end of this night. Whoever becomes the winner of that Iron Woman match. So we could see Asuka challenge that champion one day. Maybe she'll turn heel eventually. But very impressive debut for Asuka. 2 I was debating about the score. I'll just give it a 3.0 because I don't want anything to go under 2 tonight. So 3.0, just a decent matchup for. It was basically a showcase for Asuka. Basically a showcase for Asuka to show off her wrestling ability against Dana Brooke. And even though Sacha might be leaving NXT tonight, win or lose, this could be one of the last matches in NXT. We would like to see Asuka and Sacha one day, whether NXT or main roster. So there you go. On with our next matchup. If there was a match that could be called like the show stealer to steal the show for the main event, this could be it. Tyler Breeze against Apollo Crews. This was, besides the women's match, in the tag team match, one of the best matches of the night. Both men looked really good in here. Breeze has been underutilized for the last 3 months. He went from being number one contender to being lost in the shuffle with losses to Hideo Itami and Jushin Thunder Liger. But tonight, he showed a mean streak. There was some great action in this matchup for both guys. And I'm big fans of both these guys. Apollo Crews is very impressive to me. He's got great potential to become a future NXT champion one day. And this match was just very intense and action-packed. Some great spots with Breeze slamming Crews against the ring apron. That's what got the advantage for Breeze. Because Crews came in like a house of fire in his splash moves and all that great spots. Great action with forearms, some great kicks, great drop kicks. But when Breeze suplexed him against the apron, that's when the match switched. Momentum shifted, and Breeze took over. And Crews was favoring his back throughout the later half of the matchup, and Breeze just took advantage of it for the majority, delivering great moves like clotheslines and drop kicks and super kicks. Kawana coming out of a powerbomb. Crews was trying to fight back through the pain with the powerbomb. That's when Breeze countered into a hook Kawana. And there was so many great spots, like Breeze going for a big splash and got caught with a powerbomb. Actually, power slam. And Crews tried to go for his regular finish, the standing moonsault, but Breeze tried to block it. And then he did block the attempt with his knees up. So Crews is like, hey, I can't finish this guy with my usual finish. I'm going to do another finish to try to finish this guy. And after that moonsault, when Breeze blocked with his knees, he tried to go for the roll-up. And then Crews got back up with a little power bomb. I call it like the Apollo bomb. Because it was a variation of power bomb. So he grabbed him, boom, power bomb in the air. And the 1-2-3 victory for Mr. Crews. 3.4. Actually 3.5, because I thought it was a very exciting matchup. Both guys looked great. Both guys had spots in this match. Both guys had their moment. And this is Cruz's first big match against a big talent, because Ty Dillinger wasn't going anywhere. He's got the perfect 10 gimmick. That's going to take some time to get over, but I think that he's got the right gimmick now. The perfect 10 gimmick. Hopefully we see more of him lately in NXT, especially going into Nxt Takeover, because a lot of guys were not in Takeover tonight, including some of my faves, Enzo and Cass. Second Takeover without them involved. Maybe they're saving it for London, because they know when they come out in London, you're going to have 20,000 people in Wembley Arena saying each word of Enzo's intro. So there you go. Great match between Cruz and Breeze. Now on to the co-main. Usually this would be the main event, but not tonight. The finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Clash of Beautiful Trophy, by the way. You had Finn Balor, Samoa Joe taking on Rhyno and Baron Corbin. I thought either Balor was gonna make it or be replaced with like Sami Zayn or something. I kind of alluded to it earlier about Sami or Deo not being involved. I thought that'd be like a nice little surprise, but there was no surprises tonight. You usually get like a surprise debut or a surprise return. None of those tonight. But even without those, I'm actually kind of glad we didn't see any big surprise like a surprise debut. I thought like Nia Jax would debut, surprisingly. She's being advertised for next week. Or a surprise return of Sami or Dale. I'm actually glad it didn't, because it would have overshadowed the rest of the show. Especially with the main event coming up. So, Balor made it. With bad knee and all. He made it through the match. Made it through the match against Baron and Rhyno, especially with these two guys as monsters. And both guys were damaged goods. You know, both guys wrestled earlier in grueling matches. They had to really fight to get that victory, especially in Rhyno and Corbin's case. They had to really fight because they almost got upset by Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, who put on, once again, like I said, great effort in the match against those two guys. It could come out of it as babyfaces. You know, they are a couple tags, and I like them. They got great potential. So there you go. So, Balor and Joe came in early, aggressively. Trying to end it early, especially with Balor still favoring the knee. But Balor and Joe knew that Rhyno and Corbin, when they knew that Balor had his knee broken, they smelled blood. Boy, oh boy, did they take advantage late in the matches. They did. Isolate Balor in the corner, taking the knee, like really being isolated in the corner with the going for the knee various times in the matchup. It was a decent matchup for one of us. The finals, with both guys being damaged good, decent finals matchup. Once again, Corbin looked good in the matchup, especially against the NXT champion. When it comes to Balor, with a lot of guys leaving, it's kind of interesting to see who's next for Finn Balor. I'll get to that after the matchup. My opinions on who should Finn Balor face next for the NXT championship. So Rhyno and Corbin looked pretty good in the later half of the matchup. Rhyno did some big moves like the belly in the belly. Corbin with some drop kicks, insecurities. And then, like I said, when Balor got a hot tag, that's when the knee isolation began with Rhyno taking out the knee, clipping him again with the knee. And then Corbin got tagged in. He worked on Balor's knee. And Balor's being isolated with that knee. And they was trying to get the tag to Joe. They isolated Joe. Dash Wilder did that too. In their match too. They took Joe out of the equation. Every time Balor tried to go for a tag, they would drag Joe out. That's what happened with Rhyno and Corbin kind of thing. Drag Corbin, drag Balor to avoid the tag. But then Balor didn't get the opportunity. Tagged in Samoa Joe. Coming in after the aggressive streak from Balor, including a sling blade, which gave him the advantage to get the jag to Joe, coming for his big moves. But then he got the STO to Corbin, got nailed with the gore by Rhyno. But Balor broke the count, which gave Joe the momentum to get Rhyno back up, nailed the muscle buster, and once again did a double team finish with the coup de grace from Balor. Bad knee and all. 1-2-3 victory. Balor and Joe became the winners of the NXT Tag Team Dusty Rhodes Classic. I think everyone could have expected, like, Balor's the NXT champion. He cannot lose this thing, and he didn't. But a lot of people, I said it earlier, that Balor could have turned heel on Joe, like there was suspicion about someone turning heel. That leads me to say who's going to face Balor next. If Joe or Balor would have turned heel, I think we could see Joe and Balor go head to head. I think they're saving the heel turn. Because with Balor with the jacket, someone turning heel. Because with Balor and Joe, that could be a match. That'd be epic. That's what I'm saying. Who could face Balor next? Sami Zayn's still out. He didn't return tonight. Neither did Adele. Baron Corbin's still too soon to be considered for title contention. Even though he did look good in both these matches tonight, it could help him to be better in singles matches. Because these tag matches, especially if Rhyno's a good partner, Baron worked well with him. They gelled well. They worked off each other and made Baron better for it. You know, and he looked good against Joe in the takeover match. He tried to look like a wrestler finally. But it's still too soon to say Balor could take on Corbin. Still too soon to say. Still too soon to say. So, yeah, the Rhodes family coming out, especially Cody and Dustin, as themselves. No Stardust, no Goldust tonight. They were themselves. It was a powerful, emotional moment where they presented the trophy. And there you go with that. 3.2. Decent finals match between these two guys. Now on to, and I think everyone's smiling when they say, the main event of NXT TakeOver Respect. They do deserve it. Bayley and Sasha Banks take on each other. 30-minute Iron Woman match for the NXT Women's Championship. You could feel the crowd when they got into the ring. The crowd was really into it with the chant of main event. You can tell the tension. And this match ran the gamut of emotions. It was a roller coaster ride. It was a storytelling match. It was just a back and forth, great women's match. Probably better than the match in TakeOver Brooklyn. And that match in TakeOver Brooklyn was excellent. But with more time, they had a slow burn the first half of the matchup. They were just soaking it in because they are the main event. They're no longer the co-main. We've always seen the Divas title matches, the women's title matches in NXT be the co-main, never the main. So they're soaking it all in. And then the aggression started with just back and forth after there were so many spots because it's such a big match. So, both women were trying to get the pin early. Like the first couple minutes, both women were trying to get the quick pin to signify the first fall. You know, they both want that first fall because they know who has the first fall has the momentum on their side. You know, when they got the momentum going. So you had the quick pins early. Both women were trying to go for the quick pins. And then at one point, Sasha Banks and Bayley was whipping against the ring post against each other. Whipping each other against the ring post. And they almost hit the referee both times. Avoiding it. But with Sasha's back to the referee, when she was in the turnbuckle, almost hit the referee. She turned her back to the ref. Winked Bayley in the eyes. Got the roll up. 1, 2, 3. First fall goes to Sasha Banks. Like a boss indeed. Ranking Bayley in the eye. And that was the start of Sasha's mean streak tonight. As you can tell her aggression. So then after that first fall from Sasha Banks, after the rake to the eye of Bayley to get the cheating victory in the first half, both Sasha and Bayley were juggling for control, especially Bayley, already down 1 zip. You know, Bayley was up against the wall early. You know, she is the champion, and she had to fight like a champion. That's what she did in the later half of this matchup, trying to tie it up. But the Bayley had a great offensive fury with some great moves, kicks and clotheslines. Sasha's trying to set up for the knee stomp off the top rope when Bayley was in the corner on top of the turnbuckle. But Bayley got out of it, ducked out of it, jumped up into the Bayley to belly from the middle rope, and the 1, 2, 3 victory. Second fall going to Bayley, tying it up 1-1. Then things shifted. The gamut of emotions began As like I said earlier, Sacha raked the eyes of Bayley, showing that Sacha would do anything and everything to retain the the Women's Championship. And boy, did she show it during this half of the matchup. It turned downright fucking vicious, as Bayley just got pounded on the outside by Sasha Banks, with Bayley's friends and family there, especially her number one fan, Izzy, there. Izzy had to stay there and see Sasha Banks just destroy Bayley against the ring apron. Of course, the biggest spot came when Bayley got nailed against the LED screen, and she took a lot of punishment on the outside. Then, you saw Izzy in the front row. Sasha took her ball and started making fun of her, and she made Izzy cry. I know it's a show and all. I know Sasha's playing a character like that, but man, that was like really vicious. You can tell, like I said, Sasha's mean streak. She'll do anything and everything. And that anything meant intimidating and making her cry, Izzy, Bayley's number one fan. You could see her like hugging her dad, like crying. It's happened once before with people making kids cry. I think one time Triple H made a kid cry on wall. And off camera, Triple H hugged him because it's a show. I wonder if Sasha would do that to Izzy, but that was a moment. That's when, like I said, momentum shifted. Sasha got the count-out victory, getting the lead up on Bayley 2-1. After that mean streak really took hold on Bayley after Sasha Banks nailed it against the LED screen and, like I said, intimidated Izzy. You know, and she was skipping, making fun of Izzy when Sasha took the ball off her head. Like, that's going to be a moment of the match. That's when, like I said, momentum shifted. It's just downright emotional. Downright brutal. And vicious. Bayley was down 2-1. With her back against the wall yet again. Down to fall. Bayley had to find the heart. And this is when the spot fest began. Double trio of woe. So you had Sasha up against the trio of woe. And Sasha got nailed by Bayley with the elbow off the top, the middle rope. And then with Bayley turnabout's fair play, Bayley got knocked up in the trio of woe too. And then Sasha nailed the D-stomp with Bayley locked up in the tree of woe. And then Sasha trying to spear Bayley. They Bayley stepped back up. And then the beatdown began early in the matchup. During the first couple minutes, Sasha got nailed by Bayley with arm drags, landing one arm drag. She landed badly on her neck and shoulder. And Bayley took advantage of that shoulder later on as turnabout's fair play. Speaking of that, Sasha got what she did to Bayley at TakeOver Brooklyn. Sasha's arm was nailed against the steps by Bayley. Because we saw Sasha stomp on Bayley's hand on the steel steps at NXT Brooklyn. And then Sasha got nailed with a clothesline when Bayley set up the steel steps. He went up the steel steps and clotheslined Sasha after running up the steel steps on the outside. So then this was like one of the most vicious spots in the matchup. One of the most epic spots of the matchup. Sasha was going for another dive off the top rope. And she was diving. Bayley caught her. Bayley to belly on the outside. And that was a vicious Bayley belly on the outside because the fans were chanting, "Holy shit. Holy shit," with Bayley near that Bayley to belly, especially when she caught Sasha and turned it into that on the outside. That was a great spot. And then Bayley was trying to go for the pin. And I think Bayley did get the second fall. She did eventually tie it up 2-2. After pinning Sasha after the beatings and everything. So the last 5 minutes was just crazy. It was tied 2-2 in the last 5 minutes. I had a sneaky feeling he was going to go to overtime, or we're going to have the last fall in the last few seconds of the match. After the Bayley better on the outside. Sacha was trying to go for the hook Kawana again. They got back to the outside, back inside. Bayley was trying to set up for the hook Kawana again. But Sacha countered it, but Bayley would eventually, on the middle rope, do the Bayley belly from the middle rope. But then, there was another great spot when Bayley got nailed with her own finishing move. Sacha, after countering the hook Kawana, she nailed Bayley with her own finisher. That would have been interesting to see, because it was tied at this point. That would have been a whole lot of interesting if Sasha Banks would have won the Divas title again, women's title again, with Bayley's own move, with the Bayley belly. That was interesting to see Sasha do that. I was like, oh my god. And then we had, after the Bayley belly from Sasha, here comes the Banks statement. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Banks statement was locked in with Sasha stomping on the hand, the injured hand, the surgically repaired hand of Bayley. Bayley was trying to pacify out of it, but Sasha wouldn't let go of that hold. But it wasn't really locked in after that. And then bang, Sasha Banks got reversed by Bayley. Bayley got out of it, turned it into an armbar with 10 seconds left. With 10 seconds left, Sasha Banks, I didn't see her tap out. She screamed, yes, she screamed, gave up with 2 seconds left. Sasha screamed, I give up, in Bayley's armbar. And with the score of 3-2, Bayley retained the NXT Women's Championship in a very epic, back and forth, emotion-filled rollercoaster ride of an Iron Women match. That was just supremely epic. Both women just took so much benefit from each other. You know, the spots against the screen and against the steel steps, against the apron. There was so many great action from these women, taking so many bumps that the main roster women don't take. With Stephanie McMahon, Charlotte, Becky, and Lita in the crowd, Sasha and Bayley stole the show again. This time, they weren't the show stealers. They were the main event this time. And they lived up to the hype. Because I was like, when they announced this Iron Women match for the main event, I was like, they're going to deliver. But the pressure's on, because they were always a co-main, like I said. But now the pressure's on them. They are the main attraction. They lived up to the hype. They lived up to an epic Iron Women match. The entire roster came out. Solomon Cole, everybody. Triple H came out on the entrance ramp. They hugged Sasha. This might be Sasha's last match in NXT. I know, like, a proper final cut and send-off with the 4 horsewomen was at NXT Brooklyn. But this might be her send-off in a home base of NXT. At least Sasha got to fight one last match, possibly, in the NXT arena in Full Sail. It was an emotional moment. She was crying. Sasha was with the roster, and then Bayley was still in the ring with the belt, crying her eyes out too, because after such an emotional, powerful, and epic match. Triple H came and hugged her, gave her flowers, like he did to Sasha. And it was a great way to end with both women in tears, the crowd staying on their feet, with both women delivering an epic matchup. I said earlier that I'm going to do something I've never done before. I've never done it to any of my reviewers. For the first time in the 4 years I've been reviewing pay-per-views and live events from WWE Network, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. I've never given a 5-star rating to a match on a pay-per-view. It's come close. I've seen like 4.0s, 4.5. 5, 5, 5. The ending almost took it away because I didn't see Sacha tap out, but she screamed, I give up. They didn't take away from the epicness of this match. It was just the gamut of emotions. The women just put each other through hell, and they deserved the main event. They deserved it, man. I hope that Raw has the balls to do a main event Divas match. We've seen it before. We've seen main event Divas matches on Raw before. And it needs to be Charlotte and Sacha. Because Charlotte's the main roster champion, and she's taking on Nikki Bella. But I hope Charlotte and Sacha gets a chance to show main roster what they're made of. That's what I'm hoping for. If WWE doesn't screw it up. So there you go. Epic takeover tonight with the main event delivering up to the expectations of the fans, especially with the pressure of being the main event now. And they delivered it. They stepped it up yet again. Bayley and Sacha once again stepped it up and put on another epic matchup. And it was just emotion filled and action packed. It was just, it went in the gamut. It was a roller coaster ride of emotions. And it would have been cool to see it go to overtime, but it was cool to see it go to the last seconds of the match. Maybe they can do a 60-minute next. But I don't think they'll ever have a 60-minute women's match. Iron Women. So, there you go. That's NXT Takeover for you. 7.5 out of 10. I give it that because the other matches were good and all, but the main event was the match of the night, as we all had expected, with Charlotte's enemies, who she has wrestled for the women's title, Bayley and Sacha. And that is it. My NXT Takeover Respect review. Thank you everybody for watching. Once again, making this for my tablet tonight, because my computer's for repairs. I'm getting a new computer. My old computer's files are being transferred to the new computer. That's why I'm making this from my tablet. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you again. See you later. NXT. Bye-bye.